Class 9, Poem 5, Beehive, A Legend of the Northland by Phoebe Carey. Here, legend means a story from the Northland. Before we start with the poem, we should know about the poetess. Phoebe Carey was an American poetess. She was born on 4th September 1824, Mount Healthy Witch, and younger sister of poetess Alice Carey. The sisters co-published poems in 1849 and then each went on to publish volumes of their own. After her death on 27 July 1871, joint anthologies of sisters' unpublished poems were also compiled. So she was an American poetess. Now, about the poem. Introduction. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad. What is a ballad? A ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanza. Ballad is such kind of poem which tells a story in short stanzas. In the poem, all the stanzas comprise of 4 lines. There are 16 stanzas and these stanzas will tell us a story. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to the next generation. One generation to the next generation means from your parent, from your grandparents to your parents, then your parents to your grandchildren, and so on. Okay? Folk culture is a story of any area and is known as ballad. Folk culture comprises of traditional stories which are passed from one generation to the next. This story is of the Northland area, the area which is near to the North Pole. So you have already studied about North Pole and South Pole in geography. So we are talking about the same North Pole. This exact place is not specified, but Northland means the area in the northernmost part of the earth, that is near the North Pole. Legend means a historical story, one which is very old and has been passed from one generation to next generation. So this is what the introduction. Now coming to the explanation of the poem, stanza by stanza. So first stanza. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Here they is used for the people who lived in the northern land or North Pole. So now in the stanza, poetess is telling that the region around the North Pole where duration of the day is very less because its position is such that sun rays reach for a very little time. When this area is experiencing winter season, the duration of night is very long and the daytime hours are very less. So, here I already told you, refers to the people who live in this region. The poet says that the duration of night time is so long that people cannot sleep all the time. If they go to the bed, take a few hours of sleep and then they wake up, it is still night time. She want to emphasize on the fact that the duration of the night is very long because people sleep and they wake up and still it is night, continuation is there. Okay. Fine. Now here in the last line you can find alliteration is there. Okay. That day Titika repetition, then through again Titika repetitions are there. Children, I'll explain you figure of speech or you can say literary devices in my next video. Here I'll just give you the explanation of the poem. And all the poem will have the rhyme scheme with A, B, A, B. No, not A, B, A, B is not there. It is different rhyme scheme is there. I will tell you what is the rhyme scheme. Wait. So here the rhyme scheme is running through. It is A, B, C, B is there. Okay, what is the rhyme scheme? A, B, C, B. Because Netherland, A, few and through. They are matching. So B, B. And winter, different this thing is going. Sound is going. So C. So A, B, C, B is the rhyme scheme of the poem. Okay. Now moving to the second stanza of the poem. where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny furry clothes. So here harness means to tie with a rope. एक लगाम जो होती है ना, that is. And sledges, vehicle used on snow. So here in this stanza it is told that the Northland region experienced very cold condition. It is a snowy area and the reindeer is an animal which is found in this region. So people tie the reindeer to sledge and then the reindeers pull these sledges. And the poetess adds that children look like young ones of bear because they wear funny dresses that are made up of fur. And that fur look like the skin of a bear. Okay. Next, coming to the next stanza. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true. And yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. So here curious means strange. So line number first, again they refer to the parents who they tell them a stories. The parents, grandparents or any elderly people who used to narrate the story. So here them is mentioned to the children. They, you can say, to the elderly people who narrate the story, and them is referred to the children or the young generation, you can say. The elders of the Northland region tell a strange and interesting story to the young generation. The poet says that she doesn't think that the story is true, but if he tells the story to the reader, maybe the reader could learn a lesson from it. The story gives us an important message. Okay, coming to the next stanza. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching just as he did, you know. So Saint Peter is a disciple of Lord Christ and preaching to give religious you can say thoughts or religious stories or religious things, okay, or religious talk, you can say. So here in the stanza it is told that this story what we will be going to study right now, okay, is about a Saint Peter. When Saint Peter used to live in the world and went around giving religious lectures to the people just like all saints do. Then an incident happened. What happened? We will be seeing. Coming to the next stanza, 5. He came to the door of a cottage and traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. So hearth is a fireplace where she was baking the cake. So here it is told that in the stanza number 5, when Saint Peter was moving around the world and giving religious lectures to the people, he reached the door of a cottage where a small woman was making a cake, and she was baking the cake in the fireplace, that is oven. Here hearth जो हम लोग oven use करते हैं, that is hearth at that time. Okay. Next stanza. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. So faint means to lose consciousness. Why? Because he was hungry, so he was not able to walk. He became very weak because of hunger. So as Saint Peter had not eaten anything the entire day, he was very hungry and was feeling very weak. So he went to this woman who was baking cakes, and he asked for one cake out of the many cakes that she had baked. Okay. So here Saint Peter had demanded, or you can say asked, for the cake piece, because from the morning he did not had anything, so he was feeling very weak. Coming to the stanza number 7. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. So the woman was very selfish. she did not give cake from her store. Instead, she started making a very small cake for St. Peter. She did not want to share her things. But when she put the cake for baking, she looked at it and thought that this cake was too big to give to someone. Okay, so she was very miser. She does not want to give anything to anyone. Okay. Next stanza. Therefore she needed another and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as larger as the first one done. So here again she is saying needed means जो आप लोग आटा गूंथते हैं ना, that is that. To make a dough from the floor. जो आटा को गूंथना होता है, that is needed. So this little miser woman thought that the cake was too big to give away. So she started making another small cake. When she looked at that cake, she again felt that it was as big as the previous one. Again, she was not ready to give this a smaller cake to the Saint Peter. Next stanza, number 9. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer. But she couldn't part with that. Again, what happened? Now she again took a small amount of dough, that आटे का वो जो छोटा छोटा गोल गोल सा होता है, that she took again. And the third time, this is the third time when she is making, she took a very small amount of dough and rolled it. उसको बेलना शुरू किया. The poet says that she rolled and rolled to lay emphasis on the fact that she rolled the dough and made it very thin like a wafer and baked it. Ice cream का कोन होता है, that way उतना पतला सा. और you can say wafers जो आप लोग खाते हो बिस्किट, that way एकदम पतला उसने कर दिया. But she was so greedy that she couldn't give that thin piece of bread to the saint. वो भी नहीं देना चाहती थी saint को. How much greedy she is, okay, see? For she said, my cake that seemed too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. Let's see what is there. The woman reasoned that when she ate the cakes, she felt that they were very small, but if she had to give them to someone, she felt that were too big to given away. So she put all the cakes on the shelf of her kitchen, and she did not give any cake to the Saint Peter. See now what the Saint Peter is going to do. Stanza number 11. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Provoke means to make angry. Okay, so here in the stanza, Saint Peter became very angry. He was very hungry and feeling very weak, and that selfish woman was not ready to give him a small piece of cake. This behavior of the greedy woman angered the saint. Next stanza. And he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. So now Saint Peter cursed the woman because he became angry, and he cursed and said that she was very selfish. She did not deserve to live like a human being. Okay. He added that God had given her food, shelter, fire to keep warm, but she had become selfish. For all the resources she had, she did not want to share them with anybody. So she doesn't deserve to live like a human being. Now you shall build the birds do. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard dry wood. So build means to become, and scanty means less. So here he cursed and said the woman that she would become a bird because she did not deserve the human life. She shall become a bird, and just like bird, build their houses by boring into the wood and collect very little food. Boring means just like woodpecker, no? They used to prick the wood. So that boring is this one. Not boring जो आपको bore करता है. This bore to make a hole. So she will make a house by boring into the wood and collect very little food by working hard the entire day. Similarly, she would also work hard in the dry wood and all day and get very little food and make a small place for herself to live in. So this is the cursing given by the Saint Peter to the little woman. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. So now as soon as the Saint Peter cursed the woman, she did not get a chance to speak for herself, because that very moment she flew up to the roof through the chimney and flew out in the form of a bird. Saint Peter's curse had converted the woman into a bird. Next stanza. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burnt, black as a coal in the flame. So scarlet means bright red color. So when the woman turned into a bird, at that time she was wearing a red colored cap on her head. So this cap was there on the bird's head also. But the woman's remaining clothes had burned and turned black in color just like coal. Now last stanza. And every country school boy had seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. So here country means rural place. So people who live in the countryside, even the small children who go to school, seen this kind of bird in the woods. They see that she stays there all day and keeps on digging the wood with her beak to collect her food. Whenever any child sees this kind of bird, then his elders tell him this story. They say that the bird used to be a woman earlier. She was very greedy, and so she was cursed by Saint Peter and turned into a bird. They get a teaching that they should not be greedy. So this is the explanation of the poem. Go through the poem. Any doubt? Please do ask me, but please go through the poems, videos and all, so that in my class I can ask you if you have any doubt and can clear your doubts then and there. Okay. So here we learn a moral that we have got a life of human being and it's a blessing of the God. So please do not waste that life. Do not be greedy. Try to help others and understand others' situation. Be good, live good and become good. Okay. So my dear children, go through the explanation. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.